In this video, I'm going to show you the 5 qualities that separate a good speaker from one that just makes noise. And I will show you how to test every single one yourself, even if you've never studied audio a day in your life. Shalom to you, my name is Isaac from Church Media Volunteers Academy, where we train media volunteers to become well-equipped, both spiritually and technically, as a serve God in the media. If that sounds like you, I want you to consider subscribing to my YouTube channel so you can get contents like this every time I post them. Now back to the video. Let's talk about the qualities of a good speaker. If you really want to evaluate a speaker properly, you must look beyond loudness, because loud is easy, but good sound is intentional. There are 5 key things every pastor or leader and volunteer should understand before making a decision. And as we go through each one, I will also show you how you can actually test these things yourself when you want to buy or set up a system. Quality number 1, the most important one for churches. Ask yourself one question: can I hear every word clearly without struggling? Not just when the person is shouting, but even when they are speaking calmly. A good speaker makes speech sound clean and intelligible. You should not be guessing what the pastor said, because in church, if people cannot hear the word clearly, then the sound system is not doing the job. Full stop. They are physically present, but mentally disconnected. A good speaker eliminates that gap entirely. How do you test clarity yourself? There's something called the whisper test. Now ask someone to speak into the mic at a calm, normal volume. Now you walk to different parts of the room and listen. Can you hear every single word clearly? If you have to work hard to understand what the person is saying, then clarity has already failed. Alright? Now the second quality of a good speaker is frequency balance. The sound should feel natural and not exaggerated, not forced and not tiring. If a speaker has too much bass, the words is going to feel like it's buried inside the sound. Now, if it has too much high frequency, it will sound sharp and harsh and tiring to listen to. A good speaker sits in the middle. It is clear, full, and comfortable. Now, you should be able to listen for a long time without feeling stressed or fatigued. I know church services can be sometimes long, so if the sound is tiring, people will easily disconnect. Not because they want to, but because their ears can only take so much. I want you to think of it like a meal, alright? So if someone puts too much pepper on your food, you can't enjoy anything else on the plate. Now, if the salt is completely missing, it tastes flat and unsatisfying. Now, a well-seasoned meal eats everything in the right measure. It's the same way a well-balanced speaker does the same thing for your ears. Now, how do you test frequency balance yourself? It's something we call the conversation test, all right? So play a recording of someone speaking naturally through the speaker, all right? Does it sound like you are listening to a real person in the room? Or does it sound boomy, like talking inside a tin drum? Or is it too sharp, like the voice is cutting through your ears? Or is it natural, that it is balanced? Is it uncomfortable? You feel like something is off? And that's how you're going to test the frequency balance. The third quality of a good loudspeaker is coverage. That is, even sound distribution across the entire room. Now, this is where many churches get it wrong. Now, ask yourself, does the sound reach the whole room evenly? Or is it loud in the front, but when you get to the back, it's already getting weak or unclear? Now, some speakers are powerful, but they only project sound in one direction. So people in one section hear perfectly, while others are left struggling. So a good speaker system should cover the entire space, the front, the middle, and the back. Everyone gets the same listening experience. And note, I said a good speaker system, not a good speaker. There's no speaker that is going to cover the entire space and be even. So you need a good speaker system to be able to cover the entire space before you can test this well. You will need multiple speakers, covering different areas, and those speakers will do a good job of covering the particular area that they were actually designed for. So when you have a good speaker system, the entire space is going to be well covered. The front, the middle, and the back. Everyone gets the same listening experience. Now, because the goal is not just sound, it is even sound distribution. Imagine someone placed a single bright lamp in the corner of a large room. Now, the corner is well lit, but the people sitting far away are sitting in dim light. That's what poor coverage feels like. Some people are in the lights while others are in the dark. So a well-designed speaker system lights up the whole room. So how do you test the coverage yourself? There's something I call the walk test. So you have someone speak or play music through the system at a normal level. Now you walk slowly from the front of the room to the very back. Walk from the left side to the right side. Now the volume and clarity should stay consistent throughout. Now if it drops sharply in certain areas, coverage is the problem. The fourth quality of a good loudspeaker is efficiency and sensitivity. That is smarter output, not just bigger equipment. Now this one is very important, especially for churches managing power and equipment carefully. Now, some speakers can produce more sound with less power. Others need much more power just to reach the same level. A more efficient speaker is going to give you better output, it will give you less stress on your amplifier, and it's going to also give you a more stable, longer lasting system. All right, so it is not always about buying bigger equipment, it is about buying smarter equipment. I want you to picture two cars, think of two cars. One does 400 kilometers on a full tank. Now the other does 200 kilometers on the same tank, but uses a bigger engine. Same destination, but one is far more efficient. Now in church audio, a more efficient speaker is like that fuel efficient car. It gets you where you need to go without burning through your resources. Efficiency and sensitivity are related, but they're not exactly the same thing, right? Now, sensitivity tells you how loud a speaker gets at a given power level, but efficiency tells you how much of that power is actually converted into sound versus what is lost as heat. Now, most speakers only convert about 1% to 4% of electrical power into actual sound. So the remaining 99% or 96% becomes heat. So a more efficient speaker wastes less and performs better over time. So how do you test efficiency by yourself? That's all I call the amplifier stress test. Set both speakers at the same volume level. Check how hard your amplifier is working. Look at its output meter or its level. So the speaker that sounds just as loud while your amplifier is working less hard, that is the more efficient one. So when you have a well-matched efficient system, it will run cooler and last longer. Now, the fifth quality of a good loudspeaker is build quality. That is the durability and long-term value. Now, this is about more than how a speaker looks in the shop. It's not about the fancy way it looks. It's about how it performs 6 months from now or 2 years from now. A good speaker should have a strong, solid casing, reliable internal components, proper heat management. Because in church, your equipment is used regularly, sometimes for long hours. Sometimes you have multiple services. Midweek services, week after week throughout the year. The thing with cheap speakers is they may look attractive at first, but they fail faster. They overheat, they start distorting over time. Now, and when that happens, you spend more money replacing them. So don't just think about today, think about how this speaker will perform over time. Think about cheap shoes. They look fine in the shop, you pay less, but after 3 months, the sole is peeling, the heel is gone, and your feet hurt. So meanwhile, someone else paid a bit more for quality shoes, and they are still going strong 2 years later. So cheap speakers are the same story. The savings at the front end often cost you double at the back end. Now, how do you test build quality by yourself? I call it the physical inspection test. Pick up the speaker and check, does it feel solid and well built? A speaker that is built to last will feel like it was built to last. In summary, I want you to remember this. A good speaker is not just loud. It is clear so every word lands clearly. It is balanced so nobody gets fatigued. It is even so the whole room is covered. It is efficient so your system runs smart, not hard. It is durable so it serves you long term. And when you understand these 5 qualities, you stop guessing. You stop being swayed by marketing and loudness. So you start making informed decisions that will actually improve the sound in your church. And that is the whole point of this. Not just better audio, but better communication. Better communication, better worship, and a better church. So if you have found value in this video, I'd like you to click the like button, give it a thumbs up. And if you like content like this, remember to subscribe to this channel so you'll be updated every time I post a new content. Until I come your way again next time, I want you to remain faithful in the Lord's service. God bless you. Bye.